It's that time again. It's time for another Saturday night special where we talk about everything rockhounding related. Hope you guys had a fabulous week. I have some new acquisitions out here in the shop that I would like to share with you. But before that, let's talk about Maury Mountain. Going down to Maury Mountain in Central Oregon was a blast. We had some excellent finds. There's that shine. Look at that beautiful piece of moss agate. I don't know. I'm a little partial to the brown versus the green. You know, it's a preference, personal preference. What do you think? There's something about the brown that does it for me. I feel like it has a little bit more character to it, perhaps. At least with these pieces. But it's all good anyway. You spin it. Some beautiful stuff. Some of the more interesting pieces like this botryoidal plate that Sarah found is cool as well. You know, I like a good specimen. I'm a specimen kind of guy. And, you know, there was plenty of little specimens to be found out there. You know, there's not a whole lot of talk of just kind of, well, little chalcedony, druzy pockets and different interesting plates like that. You know, that's just not the narrative when it comes to Maury Mountain. Maybe it should be. Maybe it should be. I actually got a whole little container here of interesting pieces that I should probably spend some time under the microscope with. But yeah, very cool to see some of this, and some of it is quite pretty. You know, even a little piece like that has some nice fortification, and it's very cool. Very cool. Well, Maury Mountain is one of the official kind of rockhounding places, if you want to call them that, down in Central Oregon. And one of the things that I really enjoy is I like this. Now, you can buy these online. I think they're rather overpriced for what they are, but it is kind of cool. And I really wish there was more like official rockhounding kind of maps like this. I think it would be excellent for getting people kind of into the hobby, because there is a plethora of information on here. There's kind of, am I going to be able to fold this up? Am I going to have the skills to do that? Well, on one side, there's information about all these different locations. Here's some of the material, which that's quite cool to see. And then, obviously, like a big old map. A big map of where these sites are at. It's not exactly a super duper secret, you know, about Congleton Hollow and, you know, Eagle Rock and Hampton Butte and just all of these things. They're not secrets. And actually, you know, when it comes to rockhounding, a lot of things are not secrets. And there's, I think, you should draw this delineation between something you don't know and something that is, a closely guarded secret. Many of the rockhounding spots that we know about today go back. There's a long line of literature about them. Now, I haven't shown these books really here on the channel, but I am a fan of different pieces of ephemera, and the rocks are abundant. Generally speaking, how many rocks exist up at Maury Mountain? A lot of rocks. How many books exist that cover these topics? Very, very few. And over the past couple of years, I have managed to amass the complete collection to the Rockhound's Guide to Washington. And I thought I would share these with you here. These are rather old. These are from Bob Jackson, put out in the 70s. And there is 4 volumes. I have now, after hunting on eBay, Abe Books, we have the Rockhound's Guide to Washington, Volume 1. And, it's, Volume 1. This covers a lot of sites here in Washington State. Well, I have Volume 1, both in no cover, and a black. Volume 2. I just got Volume 2 in the mail. I just found a copy of Volume 2. And then there's 3 and 4, and there's a clear difference amongst these, right? Well, these are often the basis for the more modern guidebooks. Bob Jackson based a lot of his work off of Bulletin 37, which that is an official publication. But these are rare. If you find even this this Volume 4 here, which was printed in 87. So a more highly printed one. I mean, we have places that are they're very well known. Hanson Creek is an example. I like collecting these types of things. They do it for me. They have that oomph to it, if you will. I was at an estate sale. Okay, well, I guess they're kind of getting ready for an estate sale. And they were going to get rid of a bunch of books. And these aren't just any books. So I got some lapidary equipment, which that was very cool. But I also picked up gem templates, right? Classics, right? I already have these. So these are going to be part of some future Patreon giveaways, but now I can't even go over everything here. Now, there's a number of things that there was a number of things that I got that I already have copies of, which will be I can just give away, like Gemstones of North America, Johnson Canis. This is an amazing book, right? So, the Best of Lapidary Journal, and my lapidary go-to guide, another John Canis book. Well, these are cool and all, but I found such a rare assortment of books to go over, and these are incredible. First off, one thing that I have never seen before, and I guess it's no problem showing any of this, cabbing decals. I have never seen these before. So rather than using the stencils to trace onto slabs your shapes, we just have straight up stickers here. We just have a pile of stickers that you can, and these are all the same, I believe. I haven't gone through them all. But yeah, it's a pile of stickers, and you pop them off, and you can just slap them on a slab and grind up to the line, which I kind of like. I kind of like that. It's kind of an interesting old product. I mean, who knows how old this is? I could probably, given some time, I could probably date it, But this is the real treasure. There's a lot of rocks in this world, and there's even a lot of lapidary equipment in this world. But how many 1968 editions of Gem Making as a Hobby is there, right? And there's just going to be a ton of cool info in here. I wish there's things still like this available. Now, there's a lot to go through in here, and it could almost be its own separate video. There's even a whole bunch of notes in here, which it's from somebody that passed away. And yeah, I'm going to kind of keep that, but look at this. The Art of Dyeing Gems. Now, all right, I have wanted to play with a bunch of dangerous chemicals for a while now and dye some rocks. Now, I know dyed rocks are kind of a taboo. It is not a thing that you people don't like dyed rocks, with good reason, but it is still an interesting aspect of the world of lapidary and rocks that I have never done anything with, because why would you? Why would you? I only have one dyed rock, and that is this, which I picked up at the Portland, the Mount Hood Rock Club. Come on, focus. The Mount Hood Rock Club show. It is a dyed core from Richardson's that somebody had there, and I was like, "Whoa! I wonder if I could on-dye it. I wonder if I could on-dye it." Well, part of on-dyeing it, I think, is learning how to dye rocks. And I got this great, great book here, which I'm quite the researcher. Okay, there's a lot of notes on dyeing rocks in here. Quite the researcher, and I've never seen some of these books, some of these publications. There could be only a handful of these left in the world. Or, how many have just simply gotten thrown away, boxed up, trashed, yeah. It's just, there's a lot. A lot of things out there to see. A book on tumbling, petrified forest trails. I mean, I saw this and I was excited, to say the least. I was excited. I live not too far from Ferry County, so I'm looking forward to going through that. A buck. Another Northwest Gem Trails, second edition. Gems and Mineral Magazine is a very cool publication, which I wish I had more of, but apparently there's something in here about dyes for agates. But these are a cool little magazine. Yeah, how to identify fossil woods. There's some just random stuff in here as well. But yeah, it was just anytime I see this stuff, I jump at it. I jump at it. Jewelry making for schools. I mean, there's just I'm sure we could date that. It gives me the warm and fuzzies, everybody. A book on uranium fluorescent minerals, the agates of North America, and this is great. This is great. One thing that I've wanted to do for a while is spend some time up in BC going rockhounding. But where to start? Where to start? That is my problem with that. Living in Spokane, Washington, we are relatively close to Canada, and we have never gone up there to go rockhounding. And there is definitely a limited amount of information out there. Well, going through this, I'm like, oh, BC Gem Trails with maps, $1.50, $2. These are old, and there's a number of hand-drawn maps and typed text. So I will be able to go through these and spend some time with that, checking them out. The collection of literature and ephemera should be, in my opinion, a priority for the Rockhound, for you, for me, anybody out there. It is the thing that we should be really dedicating a large portion of our time to, because yes, these things here, they're beautiful. I love them. It was fun to be out there with Sarah, hanging out, walking around, finding this cool stuff, pieces of agate, crystal, little things that I can mount as specimens. But we got to start somewhere, and for me, the starting point for learning, finding this stuff, it's always the books. The books are the starting place. And it's also kind of the starting place for, video ideas. The dyeing of rocks, that's a great video. How many video ideas are in this for me? So These over here are my doubles. So I will be giving these away in the future to some awesome folks over on Patreon. Which, speaking of which, big shout out to all the folks over there who support this content and make it available for everybody. This channel is mostly demonetized as my RPM has dwindled down to almost nothing. So thank you, everybody over on Patreon. I do love making these videos, and with your support, I can continue to make them. So cheers, everybody. Well, next week, I have a very awesome video in store for you. Stay tuned for that. And with that said, we're going to call this one a wraps, everybody. I hope you have a fabulous weekend. Go do some estate sale hunting. Go find yourself some cool rock books. All right. Y'all take care, and I will catch you on the next video.